We're about to throw another wrinkle into the NAL schedule with our final matchup of the day. Coming into this stage, every team expected they'd only have to play one best of one per day, but now we're making things just a little bit harder to test the mental of the teams that we have in the league, because we gotta send some teams to Manchester, and we have to make sure they're the ones that actually have the most mental grit. Otherwise, there might not be a chance that we walk away with that one. So we're starting this trend off with Beastcoast and Oxygen, a game that we were supposed to see in Playday 1. It's gotten moved up to today. Both of them had varying results earlier on in Playday 3, and now they got to end the day with just one more game.
Two sides to different coins. Obviously the statistics look very one-sided when you look at this, but I think both teams have showed a lot of promise throughout the day, and Beastcoast just hasn't had as much repetition as Oxygen's had so far.
At the start of the show, I mentioned that I was happy we were going to see Beastcoast twice, and I stand by that because there's only so much you can glean.
We got to get more of them on
from a single map played one time. Get to see another map, we get a little bit more of a sample size, so we go into next week, we have a better understanding, or tomorrow, and we have a better understanding of exactly what they're capable of.
I also can't wait to just watch Oxygen's third straight Oregon game. Guys, we just get to sit back and just do this even more. Obviously, Dream in his interview was like, we're hoping that we can see something a bit different, and we'll get to the map bans very shortly. But let's talk Beastcoast again. Very first game that they played didn't happen until a couple hours ago because they did not play last week. It was a loss to LG on Club. Not the best way you want to open, but again, one map does not a season make, Fox.
Not the best situation at all, but obviously when you look at the team, they have a lot of pieces to the puzzle. They have good leadership with Hot and Cold and Spirits. They have great entries with Gavini and Gunner. And those four players have proven themselves time and time again. They've obviously gone to a couple majors here and there, you know, Hot and Cold, 13 majors total. But when it comes to a player like Diffuser, obviously he had a great day today. Despite them losing, he did put up, you know, a fair fight for himself. So at the end of the day, even though they struggled against a very strong and adaptive LG, and there wasn't too much to highlight on, there were some promising key details to their attack specifically.
Yeah, and we want there to be not necessarily more creativity, but we want there to be more fun moments to root for a Beastcoast team that we've never seen before. And it looked like on attack, there were some pretty interesting things that they started to do, they just couldn't win off it.
Exactly, we highlighted this earlier, but they had a fun moment with Deimos, and of course, new operator, always got to highlight these plays. It was Spirits using that Deathmark tracker to identify the location of the Solus. Not necessarily to hunt Kixro down and kill him, but to assist with the execute as they're pushing in up above. You know the Solus is going to be a threat down below, and if they track her, identify her position, not a lot they're going to be able to do.
Yeah, she can't do anything about it. I mean, at that point, plant denied.
Plant denied, job done. You did your job, and I think you're right. I think if there's a team that's going to bring this level of unique abilities, unique just operators that they're going to try different things with, it'll probably be the team coached by Fett.
So what you're saying is, Fett, please reach into the bag of tricks and do more things like that.
Oh yeah, give me more. I mean, I want to see, every play, I want to be worthy of a Carter Casting Links Hannafeld TikTok breakdown. That's what I would like. I want to see every one of those things. Deep dive, tell me exactly why or why it didn't work.
Especially for a team like Beastcoast that has no expectations on their shoulders, no weight, they can kind of go in and do whatever. If they do whatever, we get more entertainment. Carter has more things he can put on TikTok later. Everybody wins. So if Beastcoast does that, it makes Jonah very happy. From the other side, it's the team one of the teams that is still undefeated after they've played 2 games so far. OXG are now looking to make sure they become the first 3-0 team in this stage of the NAL, and they are so close. They just have to play a map that's not Oregon and get tested on something different.
Yeah, hopefully, right? 2-0, it's a great start, and we mentioned this different system that they're trying to work their way into, and so far, so good. It's 2 wins under their belt, 2 fairly comfortable victories, and yes, they haven't been perfect, but the job's getting done.
Not perfect, could be better, everything usually could be. Fox, what's one way that they could improve?
I think a big part is the opening kills and opening deaths when you look at these both teams in similar, specifically OXG, because we talk about how aggressive they've been playing, how adaptable they've been playing, and they've been looking very strong on that adaptation. But when you look at the numbers, it doesn't seem that shocking. Both teams are negative by 3 opening deaths to their opening kills. Both teams don't look anything crazy when it comes to the statistics of opening kills, opening deaths. But in the regards of what makes OXG 2-0 is the trade factor. The trade potential that they're bringing in the team play is just on another level right now. Every single play that they do, they have 2 players in the same moment taking on a fight 2-on-1. They're not isolating just 1v1s to 1v1s. They're actually going one step further, every single roamer that they find, they're hunting them down 2 people at a time. Every play that they make, 2 people at a time. And that's what I like to see out of OXG. Obviously not being there to call it myself. I'm happy that they're able to do it for them. But on the other side of things, we're not seeing that at a Beastcoast right now. We're seeing a lot of 1v1s, unique operators, you know, Deimos giving them that information, but we're not seeing the team play coming out from them.
Again, one game, so we don't want to draw all of our assumptions on just one. But maybe you're right about the early game point not being the strongest. OXG very clearly are still winning off the back of that. So as we see what map comes in, what do we get? Border. Ooh. I seem to remember one specific team being really good at this map.
Yeah, that's it. That's not Oregon. That's Border. That's an Oxygen map. Yeah,
we were good at both.
We were really good at that map. We 7-0'd W7M, and obviously, you know, they're a pretty good team. They're a pretty hard team. So I don't know.
I've heard of them somewhere. I can't put my finger.
Who are those guys again? I'm not sure. What region are they?
I'll die on that hill. I mean, a 7-0 against the best team in the world currently for the last year. I mean, that's definitely very confident, and they're still going to find success, in my opinion, on that map with or without me. So if you're Beastcoast, you've got to be sweating a little bit to let this map come up.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think your point also translates well to Border, like the trade game and their inability to play quite as together as a unit, because you look at a map like Border, feels like it's most important that you're playing together. This is going to devolve into a frag fest. Take, you know, CCTV, where you're trying to push in and clear that huge portion of the map. You got to play the trade. You're going to lose somebody. Someone's going to go down, and that's fine as long as, like OXG, Beastcoast can make sure that mid-round stays strong.
I love that you bring up Fragfest, because we were highlighting Beastcoast earlier today not being able to find their own identity. They played like SSG to try against Luminosity.
Ooh, yeah.
They didn't actually play like themselves, and now there's no information. They're playing a very aggressive, very adaptable OXG. We're going to see a lot of aggression and a lot of Fragfest ability, and that's why I hope we get to see Beastcoast just make their statement, really position themselves.
But is that enough to sway anybody to pick them in this game? Or is it just, we're going with the team we already know that's 2-0, Beastcoast have more to show, OXG look really good. Is that enough? Jesse's already like, you know what, I've seen enough, I'm picking OXG in this game. What do you think?
You know what, Jacob? I'm going with Oxygen.
Saw that coming from a mile away.
Still the company, man.
There's no way.
Big shocker.
Beastcoast still has to prove themselves to me. Oxygen, obviously, have been looking very strong, so I'm clear as day going to go with OXG.
Pick representative for Laxing. What did Laxing say?
Yeah, the Twitter DMs say OXG as well. So
are you sure he didn't? You sure he didn't pick Beastcoast?
Double check. Nah, I'm pretty sure he didn't pick Beastcoast. It's a good try, though.
It's one of the teams with a circular logo that's kind of green, except this one's full green.
Yeah, he sent me their logo. He didn't type OXG out. He would never have done that.
He just sent you the image for what it was.
Sent me the image. Took the color out, just like maybe ambiguous, couldn't tell.
Gotcha, is what it is. Well, last game of the day, both teams have already played. Which one of them has the mental toughness to stick until the end and grab another dub? It's going to be Parker. And who is it again?
Again?
Because
Twice?
He's going back to the same well, dude, and there's apparently enough water in it for him to need a second visit. Both of these teams have already played today, and what was a bit of a different story. Beastcoast had some very obvious struggles. OXG, well, they were OXG, Nick.
Yeah, looking pretty good. And I mean, Foxy does a great job of kind of breaking down, you know, talking about what happened back when he was in the roster and then what he sees now. And he says they're an adaptable, aggressive team. And yes, they showed that earlier today. I kind of fear for Beastcoast. The prediction, the social vote here, 70% in favor of OXG. They feel the same way. Also a bit of fear here on the side of BC. I don't know if Border's going to be a great map for them. I'm with the desk on this one on the couch. I think Beastcoast's going to struggle in that mid game. They're going to struggle with the trading. And unless they have found their identity from when they played just a couple of hours ago, I just feel it's going to be a quick OXG dub here.
Yeah, I mean, I think things are definitely stacked up in that direction.
Certainly.
Operator bans coming in are certainly different. Let's talk about those before we transition over to talking about the actual matchup. Deimos banned for the very first time here in North America. A Capitao ban will follow. Funny enough, neither of these operators have been banned here in North America. Obviously, we are still very early into this stage, so it is possible we see further bans down the line. Joining them are Valkyrie and Fenrir. Both operators have been banned before. Fenrir was tied as one of the most banned defenders. Valkyrie not too far off. Both of them have now been banned 4 times. Tying Azami, by the way. So Fenrir, Valkyrie, and Azami, most banned defenders in the North America League at the moment. Ying still stands alone at the top. Not going to change much as Capitao and Deimos are banned out. Now, Deimos is an operator that we've seen picked a number of times today. That one clip on Clubhouse in this matchup has been shown. Do you think OXG just removed Deimos because of what we saw from that very first game of Beastcoast LG?
I think it might be a two-factor thing here. One, yes. The other is if you're on, playing a specific matchup and you don't really have an attacker that you desperately want to remove from play, because Border is usually pretty open and up in the lineup, right? If you see this, okay, maybe OXG could ban the Ying, for example, because we know that someone like Hot and Cold likes to play it, and like Beastcoast, they play like SSG, so they also play it. But you might just say, okay, we don't know what we want to ban, or we don't want to play Deimos ourselves right now, so we'll just remove it from action. That's very possible. Either way, I love seeing the respect being paid to the operator, saying, hey, we know this operator is playable, and he's also ban-worthy because he can find a lot of value. And Border is a very open map, a lot of self-destruction. I could totally see Deimos being played from below or just granting tremendous amounts of intel. But intel is not the name of the game for this round. It might just be speed. Ying, Amaru, Monty, all hovering towards archives. This round could be over in 20 seconds time. We'll see. Right now, it's about intel down below, checking for that vertical C4. If it is clear, it could be Amaru flying in that sandwich window right in front of him right now to distract and create chaos. Monty plants archives door. Ying flashes everything. That's the go-to strat.
They've already smoked it off. We're not even a minute in. Spirits look like he might want to get that diffuser down, but you got to do the other job first, right? Hot and Cold strikes first. Down goes Yaga. He's already in. We're a minute into action, and Beastcoast has the diffuser down. Not yet. There we go. Gomez coming to life. 2 kills before he's silenced by Gunner. Gunner picking up another. Ash ACOG, by the way. Runs out of the site. Monty is still up. This is the big hurdle. Down goes Gunner. Fuser is the only non-shield player on Beastcoast still fighting. He's sitting outside. And it's Diaz to get the call, but Diffuser is just too good. Dream has too many players to look at. Knocked over by the Monty. Finished off by Spirits. As Diffuser screaming into his monitor. A successful first round from Beastcoast.
Yeah, I mean, that it was. It was like, it was as standard as you could get. They had all the right boxes checked there. They have Monty for the plant, and they were very smart. They didn't stress the situation. Amaru flew in the window, Hot and Cold, got the opening pick. When that happened, they stalled. Monty was extended, walking around, waiting for that first C4 to be thrown out as a response. And once the C4 was dealt with, or, popped essentially, that's when they smoked a second time, and then the plant got established down. While that happened, they also had 2 players going from Armory Valkyrie in towards Armory and took full bomb site control. So Beastcoast, they could easily rush that and maybe lost round literally to a C4. They played it cool and calm. It was a much better look than earlier today, that's for sure. OHD, I wouldn't say they got caught off guard. It's more so that they wanted to hold security. They wanted to extend around the map as you should on Border. But what you can do if you have the confidence is you can rush pretty much every single bomb site. The Blitz, the Glass, the Capitao, the Amaru, all very strong staple operators on this particular map. Not every team tends to play it, but it is a possibility if you see those openings, if you see those gaps on the defense.
Extension from Fountain over to security was something that we've been seeing now for a couple months, but has been solidified with the way that Border is played out. Not uncommon to see a Legion as well posted up over by Break Room. Not exactly sure where Yaga is going to be playing at the moment. Tackling top of East will be the main focus for Beastcoast as Gunner sees bullets whiz by his head. Spies the Kiba barrier for just a second. And I think it's the right call to not directly engage that until somebody else is there to help you.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's all about numbers here again on Border. The desk also broke that down. It's about trading. Yeah, there are a lot of difficult areas to take on the map, and you will lose members trying to get it. For example, security sometimes. Armor your archives when the room clear. And it's okay to lose members as long as you trade back and gain that map control. So one of the worst things that can happen on border, you get spawn peek. Because then you do not have the manpower to then trade bodies or map control. Young finds an early pick. Gavin off the board on the Ash. Entry denied here on the attack inside. Beastcoast spread very thin right now, trying to attack from multiple angles, but not necessarily hitting the same mark together. They're very spread out.
Gavin 0-2 to start off with, usually playing on those first entry rolls. Entry stats were referenced by the desk before we got in here, with OXG looking just a bit sharper when it came to who could get kill number 1. Kill number 2 will come from OXG as well. Gomez eliminating Spirits. Gomez has had a pretty good day so far. All while this is happening, Beastcoast managed to get the diffuser down, lose Gunner in the process, and now will also lose Hot and Cold. Diffuser to vault in. They get the diffuser down, and then the final player to go down as diffuser, as OXG will sit on the case and win the round flawlessly. They took their lumps, but they still win. And a win's a win.
I mean, they planned it, but at what cost, right? I mean, it looks great statistically. Beastcoast, 2 rounds, 2 plans. But 2 rounds, only round victory rather in that scenario. And yeah, I think it was more of a desperate play there. They're saying, guys, maybe we planned, maybe like, I don't know, the chaos, we can play out like post-plan, get some kills, etc. It didn't happen, right? It was 2 versus 5. Hot and Cold, or whoever was planting, died the second it went down. Last guy's outside the building on the window, not in a position to even see the diffuser. So things fall apart before anything can really happen in that regard. And that's order. 1 round, super dominant from one team. 2nd round, complete reverse. These bombs that play out very differently because of where you want to, take the map control. When you attack tillers, most teams will attack the entire map. You go Armory, all the way south side, all the way to Archives, Office, and then work your way down. When you attack Ventilation, you often want to take top floor as well, Armory, Archives, but you don't care about Office necessarily. So every single bomb site is going to give you a slightly different approach to which exact rooms you do want to clear out as an attacker. And again, you always have the option to go for a direct attack when you have those kind of power operators, like the Ying, for example. The Beastcoast, they have plenty of options. They have many ways to approach these rounds, but they gotta do it again as a team, playing on the same page, on the same strategy. Because round number 1 was 5 people executing one singular plan. Round number 2 was 5 individuals trying to execute their own individual plan. There's a very big difference there in the outcome of the round because of it.
Oh, good look from Beastcoast in that very first round. That's just 1 here on border.
Yeah. And, I mean, OXG, when we saw them earlier today, they had a slow start, Oregon, but then they fired up. So if that was OXG being slow, they're only gonna get better from here on out.
Well, Gunner just walks in and decides to remove Dream's head from his body. Heard the Candelas go off as well. The funny thing is that when Gunner ran in and got the kill, the bomb site was wide open for the taking. If that was Hot and Cold, he could have planted that diffuser a 2nd time. Well, 3rd time, actually.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
But it would have been Hot and planting a 2nd time was the point. I realized that was kind of clunky. OXG, you're going to sit for now. Beastcoast is still very close to the bomb site, but just as we've seen on other maps, you need to take control above the site before you can start the opportunity or start to find the opportunity to get that diffuser down. East Coast have not cleared out the top floor in the slightest.
No, it's a well read though, right? They get the kill on site, they hope to create some chaos, force some movement, then realize, hey, there's a Solus above. We cannot plant. They will just kill us vertically. So now they're rotating around a bit awkwardly here, opening up Armory, trying to go for ventilation plant, and this might actually work. One person of Gavin can flash all of Armory. You go in ventilation, you plant below, and you hope for the best here.
There go the Candelas, but if there's an operator well suited to deal with this, it's the Warden of Gomez. He dispatches 2 members of Beastcoast, OXG, holding tight for the time being. Hot and in Spirits, the last 2 remaining. Gomez still from above, putting in the work necessary. Every single player from OXG will have to do their part. There's 1 less player on the board for Oxygen. Got that top floor control, Nick. 30 seconds to go.
They do. Bit of an awkward read there because there's one operator you cannot blind. It is the Warden, so a good strat in theory, But in reality, the wrong operator playing inside of Armory, Spirits, no one can help him, and Hot and Cold lasts alive at 1 HP. I don't think they got this one.
Terrific round by Gomez, a 4K for him. He was the hero in the previous match, and now is the hero yet again. I believe that's 8 kills, by the way, for him. I'll have to see the scoreboard when we get back into it, but all the same, genuinely quite impressive stuff on his side and on side of OXG. First round was tough, but you bring a Monty in. Spirits, of course, on the Monty. He's a very formidable shield player. You know him well. We are going to look at Gomez for a long time. This was the play from above, by the way.
Yeah, and I mean, again, strategically, a very wise play. You flash armor, you play ventilation, the cover is good, the enemy doesn't know what's happening. But it's a Warden. It's the one guy you cannot blind or smoke off on those kind of positions. And I think it's a simple like lack of droning from Beastcoast. I don't think they knew what operator exactly it was playing inside of Armory, but they knew there was someone there. Bit of a tough one. Now we go upstairs again, where things started off, and immediately Spirits will show us the Monty, at least for now. So this might just be you know what, when they attack top floor, they like to bring the shield. Anywhere else, they don't really care for it, but it's not gonna be a full commitment. So this could be a bait strat. This could be Monty shows Archive side, and they hit Armory really fast, for example. A bit of a bait and switch. It's possible, not necessary though. But playing just the Monty without those other chaotic operators, like the Ying, for example, like a Lion, is not all that common. Monty in and of itself right now, with the shield rework changes, is honestly, in my opinion, a little bit weaker. You don't have as much pressure as the Monty player. There's no hip fire, your melee doesn't run shit anymore, just like knocks them over like an Orc Stash or an Air Jab from Nomad. And your feet are always exposed and you're not fully extended. So while Monty is great as a drone, to get into the building, to establish a plant, killing people and applying that kind of kill pressure isn't quite as strong as it was before. So, a bit of a surprise to see the lack of other operators to support that system.
Not often that we see the visuals of Baro's Zoto canister slow you down. Very powerful operator at the moment. Has a lot of applications, and of course the AR that he can run that used to be shackled to Maverick, but has now been unleashed. It really does hit like a truck. So not just an offensive threat, but also great utility. And yeah, it's 8 kills for Gomez, by the way. The rest of his team combined for 5. That's wild. 7 on the side of Beastcoast. So Gomez not just having more than the rest of his team, but also more than all of Beastcoast combined. OXG could go up 3-0 on the standings. 3 victories would be quite nice as they look to try to go to Manchester. The representatives from North America are far from certain, especially with Dark Zero starting off 0-2. Long considered one of the best teams in the region. Their early struggles have now created an opening for other teams to capitalize off of that. 1 minute left in round number 4.
It's a very slow one. Still yet to see the initial push here. I'm not sure. Like, it looks like an office take now with all the rotates coming over. 5 members stacked instead of office archives. But again, no Ying, no Lion. They got evil camps from Maestro. They missed the EMP. They hit the second one though. They got a small opening. In fact, the Maestro camp is not EMP'd actually. They have full intel on the setup.
He is tossing out a Nitro cell as he gets droned. That's enough information for Spirits to get out of there. Hot and Cold will back up in tow. Gunner dies. Gomez, the superstar so far through this matchup, will be removed by Diffuser. Both teams into a 4v4 at this current point with only 15 seconds left. Beastcoast gotta go, and they gotta go quickly. Spirits will tuck himself into the corner. Shield will go up as he goes for the plant. Beastcoast with 2, Dream with 1, Hot and Cold looking for another. He'll collect it. Diffuser will now have to go on to the Diffuser again as Diaz pulls out his pistol. Beastcoast much better on this site with the Monty leading the way in, and they take the round.
I mean, if my math checks out, Beastcoast can win the next 2 attacker rounds guaranteed. All they gotta do is play Monty. Monty equals victory, no Monty equals loss. It's very simple mathematics. Although it was a very chaotic, messy round, they attacked with very little time left. They missed those secondary MPs. They were spotted the entire time. But OXG, they didn't really have the tools to deal with it either. A lack of vertical C4s, Evil Eyes, of course, were great for intel, but they weren't in a position to deny the planter. There were 2 seconds left. The second attempt begins, and it's good. The cover is there. Spirits. Oh boy. He was showing the twitch. Now he's showing the Monty. He might have realized what we too see. Speaking of chaos, there it is. Ying, combined with Glass, combined with Monty, on a Teller's Archives defense. This is a classic into the window. Plant, Glass covers to the smoke. There are 4 roamers top floor. If these roamers, they stick around and they don't get back to site quickly, there's 5 actually off the site right now. This round could be over again extremely fast. This is why whenever you like dry run, when you like do your strategies on defense with the setup, you time it in prep phase so that you can be in your start position before the prep phase ends. Because if you're a little bit late now for the setup and you're like reinforcing right now like DS is, enemy might be planting while you're literally reinforcing a wall. That's because you're late to the setup essentially. So you can dela the bathroom drone hole if they're gonna go for it. You can dela bathroom drone hole here for gunner. You smoke off the window for side. Monty goes in either as a planter or for the chaos effect of going to bathroom, and then you just go. See if they go for it. We're still figuring it out. Come on. They're gonna send Bach inside our ventilation again for like that split pressure. Oh, they're gonna ram drone above for bait as well for noise. There it is. In they go.
And the upside down repel from the Glass as Spirits amidst the smoke will have Diffuser at the halfway point.
Nope.
Now successful. Everybody's still alive in the server for the record. Spirits taking matters into his own hands. Pistol comes out, a kill for him. Not before Gomez can get on the board. Newers as well. OXG will have to deal with that window play of Hot and Cold. That will be the big issue. And Hot and Cold is just biding his time. He's joined upside down with Gunner as they will shoot away at the Kiba barriers. Newer's dying. That's a big change.
Guys are diffusing.
Gunner's just gonna mag dump on in, but OXG sticks the plan and wins the round.
What? Like how long? So everything went really well there. I mean, they got a 5v5 plant down. They got the post plant outside the window. They had split pressure across the map, attacking from multiple angles. And then just defuse. Just like that. And it's over. 7-second plant, 7-second defuse timer, and somehow, unseen of in my eyes before at least, defenders win the 5v5 retake without the attackers actually dying in that round.
Astonishing stuff, and it's not like an upside down repel Ying or Glass from that position is particularly earth shattering. I think it was that old rogue slash koi slash fanatic roster. Whatever they call themselves these days. It's fanatic now, right? But
yes, it is fanatic now.
Rogue, and then it was koi, and then it was rogue.
Yeah, and then it was koi, and then it was fanatic.
Yeah. I believe one of the first times we saw it was when they did the same thing, an upside down repel, back when they were known as Rogue, on to that position, and involved Deepak and Spoit and Leon Gids. And I mean, it wasn't surprising because we'd seen it before, but the effectiveness was very strong. Now, East Coast try to do the same thing. They're ultimately, they cost them the round because the OXG was able to get on that diffuser, and well, there was just so many bodies that East Coast focus was on who was playing by the window and not necessarily the chaos that was occurring around the actual case that had been planted.
Yep.
Deeper into the bomb site maybe than they had wanted.
Oh boy. Well, Spears will stick it out though. I was like, you know what, Muncie seems like a good pick for him, and he picks Muncie the following 2 rounds. And I do like this. It's clearly working. East Coast as a full-man team, like all 5 players, they play around this element, that is the Muncie. The only thing I want to see differently this time around, because they're not going for a rush strat, we need to see Spirits getting actively inside the server, making proactive decisions here. Because when you're a Muncie, you are basically a bulletproof drone. You will walk around, you will clear the corners, you will give yellow ping information, And if you're a vocal player, which Spirits is, you will also kind of like semi-lead the team here, saying, guys, open up this wall. I'm going to go here. Cover my left. I'm going to clear the right, etc. And half the round has been burned, and all they've done so far is walk into E stairs. So the pacing a little bit slow, but we've seen Beastcoast, they fire up in those last 20 seconds, and they tend to be successful at establishing down that diffuser. And as long as they do that here again, they should be fine.
Not a surprise to see this Monty come out as frequently as we have, and if it's working, you might as well continue to use it to your advantage. After that very first matchup that we saw today, Beastcoast could use the help securing some of these rounds. It was a rough game against Luminosity for Beastcoast, and ignoring which side they're currently on, OXG not lose this first half. So 3 rounds against Beastcoast, obviously at this deficit. OXG will almost certainly be good enough to pick up rounds on the other side of the equation. Nades go in. They don't do as much as they used to, but... No! They can't shake Gomez out of this position. He finds 2 kills. Beastcoast now hit, and they hit hard. 2 of their own. 3v3. Snewers is far enough back, but easy enough to control that recoil. Another player will walk into the site. It's Gunner. He'll be aided by that adrenal surge as he hunts down Newers. Gunner's last alive. Newers to win the engagement. Your overheal isn't quite so strong if you die to a headshot. Huge play by Gomez to break open that round, and OXG walks away from the first half up 4-2.
I mean, OXG, they find the gap and they get the kills and whatnot, but I gotta say, I believe Beastcoast literally had a player on the office window on drones, and instead it's Munty who will unextend and go for the ADS attempt and then die. You see it right there? So for some reason, it's Munty going for the aggressive play instead of applying that pressure and, you know, giving the intel when they have a gun on the window right behind the Munty. It's small things like that where it kind of falls apart for Beastcoast. It's in the details, it's easily fixable, but it looks really ugly when those weaknesses are exposed. When you're up against OXG, who are not missing their mark, they are really hitting their shots, especially Gomez, who's 11-4 by the way, you gotta just be accurate on those teeny tiny details. Now, 4-2-half starting defense on border, hey, that's pretty good. Unlike most maps, we tend to say, hey, this map is like defender favorite, it's easy to defend this bomb side, yada yada yada. Border is kind of like old coastline, back when I was in pro play. It's a frag fest. It comes down to not so much strategical and statistics, more like, can you play together as a team? Can you seek out those engagements? Do you have a good read on your opponent, etc.? Like maybe like a cheesy like little C4 below or something like that to like get a kill in the round? That matters so much more. So getting defensive victories typically is pretty difficult. Especially now where, you know, every single attacker has a zoom scope again on the ACOG, and it's a very playable scope. There's these long lines of sight, and not every defender has a zoom scope these days because the 1.5 is gone. So, I would not be surprised if OXG will get more than 2 attacking rounds on their half.
This is what I was talking about the Legion setup, by the way, playing over by Break Room. Though aided by a castle barricade, I don't think that's something that we see all the time. Instead, we'll be able to vault over those half panels on either side, but as you know, you are incredibly vulnerable when you go for that vault.
Yeah.
The job of Spirits will be to guard top east, guard the balcony that overlooks waiting room, and then also ensure that any movement in that area is slowed down due to those goo mines. Use some investment to reinforce off some of that wall, but as you can see, there's an opening that Newers is surveying that leads all the way over to security. Those are long sight lines for the attackers.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a creative setup there. Shuts down the eastern balcony, makes things difficult, but another grenade kill today as well. Yogg onto Hot and Cold and the Bandit. I've been trying to trigger wall, I'm not entirely sure where Hot and Cold was playing. But Spirit's doing a great job just locking things down. Not overexposing themselves too much here. He knows that staying alive and maintaining control over Break Room is the priority. Not so much getting a couple of kills in that particular position. But when you lose Hot and Cold early, when you're playing that 4v5, you're also start getting a little bit itchy to get into a gunfight, and you might just lose that one as well. Down goes Gavin, but a trade is there. It's not over yet for Beastcoast in this round. He can still win it out.
Oh my, what a shot from Spirits. Still in this powerful position now with the 2 reinforcements right next to him. Dream's on a collision course here. Only 1 kill so far for Dream through these 6 rounds. Dream isn't known for topping the charts in terms of kills, but typically want to get more than 1. Spirits is on fire from this position. Another relatively easy kill, but he doesn't expect Yaga striking from behind. 2v2 Gunner on half HP.
No.
He's removed by Diaz. Now it's all up to Diffuser. Got a read over towards Fountain Office. Diffuser will be playing this half wall in Armory, not the half wall, but one of the many half walls located inside of the site. Diffuser will fall back now and watch over top of the bomb chassis. Only 15 seconds to go. Perfect time for Bees to go in. Diaz has 1 more that he can throw out. Diffuser will run outside. He will be revealed and play keep away.
Hello?
Because he's vacated the site, Diaz should be able to get this down unless Yaga falls. Diffuser now walking through Fountain. He's made a perfect rotation, but Yaga seals the deal, preventing Beastcoast from getting back into the site. Diffuser stood no chance. And of course, we get the highly coveted fiery Yaga reaction.
I mean, that's a genius rotate from Diffuser. And I think if he had sprinted all the way straight through Fountain because they had a red pick on the planter, he might have even won that round, actually. He was maybe 1 second off getting the guy who's planting, you know, before the Diffuser goes down. Doesn't have to go for the second swing. It looked like it was the weirdest play possible, running outside the bomb site. But in reality, it really was probably the best play he could have made. He was spotted by the Beast regardless. So going outside doesn't really make a difference in that scenario. But that's a heartbreaking round. Spirits gets 3 kills playing in break room, hitting some disgusting shots. No one's really helping him. Finally, they shut down the raid boss that he was in that round, and then it's over. It really was a one-man army, and that was it. Beastcoast, they need, again, that teamwork, that playing together. They're losing body after body in these rounds with no punishments happening. OXG are getting kills for free when they should be traded back, they should be losing something in turn, but no. It is a very one-sided situation in that regard. OXG, yep, they got things solved on the defense, and they also looked like they got things mostly sorted out on attacks, besides the issue that was Spirits, who's now playing Boss G ACOG, by the way. What is this? Now,
I mean, I guess you gotta have some fun with it, no?
oh!
Oh my.
That's disgusting. That was a clean one tap. I mean, that was a good night. That was like, he shut the ground, just flicked the door, 1 tap, looked away. Severe lack of confidence from PC. Oh, and his newers as well. The guy who normally styles on people.
Talk your ish, Newers.
Yep. Get in there.
Wow.
I mean,
a heck of a start for Beast Coast. And yeah, Spirits going on to the Boss G ACOG is certainly something to watch.
I'm
Boss
just
G
curious if it's intentional, you know? I don't know.
I mean, these are their online accounts, right? These are not.
Yep.
So I
Not
mean,
LAN.
yeah, you can't use the excuse, oh, I didn't have it set up, unless he was maybe playing a game earlier and forgot to change it. But I mean, that definitely seems like something that you would be mindful of. Diffuser, by the way, after hitting that GN, he's the first to die for Beast Coast. Happens about halfway through the round. Dream walks in, gets the kill, and then rushes right out.
And it's again, Beastcoast get early pick. They played well. They type good night in chat. They talk their smack, and then they die again for free. There's no punishment. There's no trade like mentioned earlier. And now it's a 4v4. Things are now equal. And then all of a sudden, Gunner falls. All of a sudden, that early lead is lost for Beastcoast. And again, they keep giving up things for absolutely free. And we see the silhouettes right now. Most of Beastcoast and defense right now are just sitting in corners. Hot and Cold's playing top east. Spirit's playing office right now. Gavin playing archives. That's it. That's their 3 positions. And they're not really moving around. And Dream is planning. Do they even have cover? They do.
Gomez is there, ready to move OXG to match point. It's all up to Gavin. Most recently, a member of Dark Zero. Gavin trying to find new life on a new squad after he was removed shortly before the 6 Invitational. And well, Gonna take some time for this Beast Coast roster to gel. 2 matches in one day, 1 match to start the day and then the other to end it. That's a solid 6 hours between your matches, by the way. OXG goes on to win the round. They're on match point. Beast Coast involved in our first match of the day against LG. That match started 6 hours and 10 minutes ago. Just in case anybody's keeping track. That match ended about 5.5 hours ago. So quite a wealth of time between the start of that one and the finish of that one and then the start of this one. East Coast have called a timeout. They looked very strong in round number 1 and they tried to set an unrelenting tempo, but then since then, OXG has had the upper hand through most of these rounds. East Coast are an experienced team in terms of the players who play on the team, but as an actual unit are not that experienced. It's going to take some time for them to gel. OXG adding 2 players from M80. It's a lot easier for them to come into this system, though I will say losing Fox means that OXG has to find a new identity. OXG is about to be up 3-0. Fox was the problem. I don't know. Did you just hear that? I didn't hear that.
Wait. Yeah, I think somebody played like an audio clip of you saying
that was weird. It was like somebody joined the channel and said that and then just it's so strange.
That's messed up, man. I thought it was a secret channel.
Who would say that?
I really admire the tactical timeout when you're down 2-6 and it looks like it is so over for you. It's just like it's almost like the plan right now is just to piss off OXG, waste their evening, you know? Call a tactical timeout, maybe win a round here and there, but inevitably Beast Coast will lose. That's what the plot seems like right now. I just don't see a world in which right now OXG they lose this match. They're up 4 rounds. They look like in full control. And again, as long as Beast Coast refuse to, not refuse, that's a bit mean. But anyway, like, as long as they don't play together, it's not gonna go better for them because that is just Border 101. You need to have that kind of trade mindset where you're not gonna be too far off a teammate. There is help to be had, or I punish somewhere else, and that just it's not happening. Until it does, I'm not gonna be leaving them.
I will say, I did not expect this to be the scoreline that we saw. Yeah, I would have definitely given OXG the nod. In fact, I did. I predicted that they would win, but I also predicted DZ would win. Such is the duality of this esport.
Yep. I
know I'm using that turn of phrase incorrectly, but it is late. Spirit starting things off by killing Yaga. Beast Coast desperately need a good start to this round because OXG they're a sticky team. They stick to you. You cannot get past them. There have been multiple rounds where it looks like Beast Coast are able to pull it off, and OXG just simply outmaneuver and outmuscle them. A couple early picks. That's some breathing room for Beast Coast if they can get it.
Yeah, they got a good setup. They got those mirror windows. They got utility they can play behind, which I think is a great change up for them. But I'm just waiting here. In the next 30 seconds, something might just be going wrong. Somebody overswings. Oh, this time it's Gunner who gets the pick, actually. Typically, it's been the other way around, so this might just be it. They have 2 mirror windows. They're holding top 4 above the bomb side. And OXG, they're not really anywhere. Dream is playing Passport. Get Gomez upstairs on triple with Diaz, who also gets picked off. Gunner with the perfect timing right now, punishing OXG. Good stuff.
This round at this point is effectively over. Gomez with 12 kills has looked unstoppable through a number of rounds on this map, but I mean, you've got a lot of targets to find. Plenty of bullets, by the way. As Gomez starts with one, will have to undergo a lengthy reload when that LMG runs out, and there we go. Gomez will take the time to do just that. Dream looking for an opportunity. He'll die with diffuser in hand. Gomez will need to clutch out this round and also ace in the process as he'll drop. Impact grenade taking away some of his cover. East Coast licking their chops, wanting this kill. Spirits got the first kill of the round. Always nice when they also get the last kill of the round. East Coast, stay alive.
I don't know how Gunner plays in the dark like that. It like nukes your eyes. Like if I do that for just like an hour, I can no longer see. It hurts to even have my eyes open. I guess that's like the difference between a boomer that is I and a younger that like he is, you know? The classic lights off run debate. You're a lights on off guy, kind of guy, Parker.
I'm a lights on guy, mostly because if you are sitting in the dark and you just have a bright light in front of you, it causes an incredible amount of eye strain. When we are casting, I have my regular lights on when we're on camera. I turn most of the lights off when we're off camera, but I keep one on. That's enough, I think. But, I mean, when I was younger, I was a degenerate. I would absolutely play in the dark. Sitting in your bedroom, you're 16, 17, 18 years old. You got a hoodie on. It's kind of cold.
Oh,
you got all the lights turned off. You keep getting headaches and you wonder why. Why am I getting all these headaches, I say, as I sit in the pitch blackness of my room with a bright monitor in front of my eyes burning into my skull. It's a mystery.
Yeah, being hit with
It's a mystery. Maybe I didn't drink enough water. I don't know.
Oh boy, I sure didn't.
I don't know about you. There's like, people warn you. They're like, suddenly you just like birds. It's like you'll get older and you won't care about birds, and then suddenly you'll see a bird and you'll be like, wow, that bird's really pretty. And then next thing you know all these things about birds. I feel like the same thing kind of happens with like household stuff, because I have become like, now I'm like, wow, that's a really nice light. Like it really ties the room together. And I realize that it's almost time for me to retire. Like,
yeah, you buy a new vacuum cleaner, you get all excited. Oh my god, I'm finally getting an upgraded vacuum cleaner. This is gonna be great to vacuum the floor with.
I bought a bunch of really nice like Japanese cooking knives.
Oh yeah.
And I bought a La Crusette, and I'm just like, man, I'm so excited about this stuff. And I didn't ever think I would be. But I guess that's what growing up is, right? You know?
It's what being a boomer is like, yeah.
Okay, I'm far removed from that. 1 minute off the clock, and not an awful lot has happened in this round. There was an interesting decision of Diffuser to impact nade his own Kiba barrier top east, which, along with the Swiss cheese holes that we see in the wall directly ahead of Dream, I don't know if they are fully practiced or not.
What's happening?
What is that?
Are they waiting for an... Yuck, what's the angle here, my friend? He's just looking at it.
Shoot it.
He can't believe his eyes. It's like, what is this?
It's still there.
He wants to nade him. So he's timing it, nading, bouncing. There it is. Oh my god. Not again!
This is actually a really good nade. So by bouncing it, it activates right away, right? And then it drops. And because of that, you can't cook nades anymore, but you have very limited time to react to that nade by bouncing it the way that they do. And it secures the kill on the hot and cold.
Oh, it's genius. Except the magnet was in a spot where IQ could literally shoot it from the roof, so it falls apart entirely. Hot and cold died that same nade like a couple of rounds ago as well, so it's 2 for 2.
Be able to heal himself back up now as Gavin will hold court over by security. ACOG on the dock will allow a longer line of sight as he jiggle peeks his way. Knows one! A nice shot by Gavin! Almost a second lined up, but Gomez will stop him. Gomez has been such a threat. Only 2 remain for Beastcoast. They're fighting for their lives in this matchup.
15 seconds remaining.
It's a long time to wait between losses. So for Beastcoast, they gotta stay in it. They won't though. Yaga and Gomez uniting for the final 2 kills. And just like that, OXG triumphs. They're up 3-0 in the North America League.
Yeah, I mean, a wise man once said Foxy was the problem. Maybe he was, I don't know, but a great start for OXG, and I gotta say, Beastcoast taking them to border, that was a very bold move, but it did not pay off.
It absolutely was, and I do like that teams are taking chances and getting messy. But I will also say that Beastcoast have some work to do. OXG, formidable, and they sit alone atop the North America League standings. Beastcoast might be an experienced team of individuals, but as a group, there's still work to be done. Good news is that the issues are relatively obvious. So whether they're looking at their Luminosity game or whether they're looking at their OXG game, they've got their work cut out for them. What's the cat's name?
Sly. SLY.
That's a very comfortable position, I'm sure. Our matches are done, but the show is not over just yet. Before we break down that final matchup, we got a break ready for you. Sit tight, we'll be right back.
Very different story for two teams that played 2 games today. One of them won both of them. The other one lost twice. Not the sort of story you want to be on. If you're Beastcoast, if you're Oxygen, you're sitting pretty. You're at the top of the league. You're feeling fantastic. But for Beastcoast, we not only got to see them play for the first time today, we saw them in 2 separate maps with a different set of mistakes overall. So not the debut that you want, but hopefully you can still pick yourself up for future playdays.
You absolutely can. There was a little bit of unique attacks that we saw out of Beastcoast. They were getting in there, they were getting the first pick, but then they didn't do anything with it. They had the advantage some rounds, they had the position, and they just stalled out. They didn't really have a game plan on where to go, and they didn't really do anything with that advantage.
The thing is, this is the first time we actually saw some concrete mistakes from Beastcoast. It wasn't just, the fair fight that it was against LG. They, had a good match. One team just edged out the other.
Right.
Here, it was Beastcoast couple of moments where they clearly missed something or clearly just didn't quite match the OXG team on the other side. One example, their failure to clear out half wall on the attacking side. They had the Ying, yet they didn't clear out Armory successfully, something that's fairly straightforward to do.
Yeah, they got the walls open, which I'd argue is the hard part when it comes to the border attacks. It's just getting the objective walls open, getting these ankles open. This play was great, just throwing body after body just to make sure they get that defused. But the hard part on border is getting the objective, getting the positioning, because it is such a small map, and getting inside the map, getting what you need is the hardest part. But once they had it, they didn't clear OXG out of any of the angles. The half wall, they didn't clear Gomez out of the half wall. They didn't clear New Crew out of top armory for vents, for bathroom.
I love how you call him New Crew and not Newers every time you reference
I
him.
mean, I'm just used to saying it. I mean, I know these guys very comfortably, so it just comes out naturally. But the point still stands. Beastcoast was not clearing out any of OXG's positions on the defense. OXG was able to develop their confidence. They knew that, hey, we just have to sit down, play our gun skill, focus on ourselves. And when it came to their attack, OXG just did their strategy. Step by step, force these executes, force these plants, make Beastcoast move, and Beastcoast moved right into their crosshairs.
On the attacking side, OXG dominated. We just saw there the final replay, a beautiful nade that Yaga cooked up and delivered right into the site setup that completely broke it apart. But one thing they also did was take advantage of those smaller gaps. That round we also saw where they were throwing bodies just to get that to counter defuse and try to sneak one off there, right? They had a full minute left on the clock. They easily could have sat back a little longer, but border is border. Those gaps will emerge, and when OXG saw that there was an opportunity there, they didn't sit back and wait. They jumped on it, and they made it move.
And the gaps were specifically exposed because of the map. The Beastcoast that we saw in this game did not look like the Beastcoast that we saw at the start of the day. Whether it was emotions getting the best of them, we won't know for sure until, you know, Beastcoast starts turning up. Maybe they have an interview. But when it came to the second half of the game, we saw Beastcoast, they were bringing a Boss G going for spawn peaks and break room door.
Yeah.
It looked like they lost the confidence. And then I loved a little bit of banter when he one-tapped New, when Diffuser one-tapped New and said good night. And even though they were down 2-5, I mean, you like to see the fun, but I think Beastcoast may have just been playing exactly with just that, just fun in mind.
Yeah, that's a bit of the problem. Even though you have 2 games to play, even though it might be tiring, you still have to give your all. Otherwise, you're not going to get the points you need to maybe qualify for a major. For Oxygen, though, where Beastcoast were making mistakes, one guy felt like he was usually in the driver's seat, and that was Gomez. He had himself a field day in this one, finishing out with 15 frags.
Consistency again. I mean, all day, both Newers and Diaz have been so capable fragging. I mean, we saw this last week as well. 3 games in now. It's not like we're not guessing anymore for OXG.
No.
These 3 guys are delivering. They've done it 3 best of 1s in a row.
They really are, and we saw the walls open right there, just like the points we were making. Beastcoast had the hard job done, and Gomez was still playing in these exposed positions, just getting kill after kill, not being stopped. The trade game wasn't there for Beastcoast, but on the side of OXG, the trade game was there all day. Every single play or every single trade that they made was either to get the trade back or for positioning for that execute, and it just showed the confidence starting out on their side. They were able to run it all the way through the rest of the game.
Well, Oxygen are now the first team to acquire 9 points in the NAL, whether it was because they were undefeated or not, but the cherry on top is now they stick at the top of the standings above everybody else. And we went from 2 straight games on Oregon of Diaz and Newers being the ones to lead the scoreboard to now Gomez having his own highlight day. Everyone on OXG seems like they're doing good. For Beastcoast, what do you do after 2 losses on one day?
You got to go back to the drawing board. I mean, we see a lot of promise out of them. They just have to find more consistency in the way that they play. It can't just be all gimmicks. It can't just be all one player walking into the site. We need to see more cohesiveness. And we say they have the pieces to the puzzle. They just got to put them in the right place.
They did show us a little bit of that innovation that I asked for. It obviously didn't come.
You got your wish, it just wasn't very good.
It didn't come in the form that I wanted, right? Deimos was banned. We didn't even get a chance to see him. They had one round where they were attacking archives, where they brought the Monty in, pretty typical rush strat on the surface level.
Yep.
Instead of going for that doorway plant, getting that smokes down, maybe a glass in the back line, they went deep, planting all the way in that corner. And this was probably a mistake you could say that OXG made. They had the intel, they knew it was happening, and they couldn't find a way to deny it. So good innovation from Beastcoast. Could it have been shut down? Yes, but That's the kind of thing that, again, this roster that's clearly still trying to feel it out needs to do well.
But clearly, even if you make a couple big roster changes, you can have some success. OXG has been doing that. Let's talk to one of the guys who's now technically considered an OG on this team in Newers. Dude, it's been a hot minute since we had the chance to talk to you. How you feeling after getting 2 dubs today?
I'm feeling good, man. How are you?
Yeah, good. I mean, we're sitting here 11:30 Eastern right now, just chilling. You guys looked really comfortable over both of those games. Did you feel any pressure on you at all? Or are you just balling out or however you feel?
No, my days are like my days in Pro League have gotten so long now that I feel like an OG. So getting nervous is
Fox, is that
getting
true?
nervous isn't a thing.
Is he actually an OG now?
Yeah, he looks like Unk. Look at the beard growing out.
It's scrappy, but it's coming.
He's rocking the same glasses that you and Laxing are rocking.
Honestly, they look like
Oh, yeah, we're
identical
kinda
glasses.
We
Yeah.
kinda do. We're twins. We went shopping together.
Hey, good stuff.
Dude,
We
more
can catch up.
more important question. Onto the game. I mean, how much has changed when you go from a 7-0ing world championship on border team to then going to a team that like kind of struggled on border against Beastcoast? What's like the change on maps like that?
Is this comedy night, bro? I mean, honestly, like, game's just different, and people just nerd out in that map now, and it's just like you gotta learn a bunch of different things, and we started scrimming again, and to be honest, people have definitely renovated that map, so it's honestly harder to become like the best at that map. So we just had to adapt after invite when we picked up Gomez and Diaz.
Well, you guys were really good at it. Obviously, today showed, and there were a lot of new adaptations that I haven't seen you guys do when I was on the team, so it's nice to see that. One specifically is you guys banned Deimos. Is there a reason for that? Was that because you saw Beastcoast play it in their first game? Is it just an operator that, you know, is devastating on that map that us viewers may not know about? Talk me through the ban phase a little bit.
I mean, like the only reason we banned Deimos is because Yago's like, yo, I think Spirits likes Deimos, and we just like, yep, all right, ban it. And that's literally, he was like, I got tech, and that's all we thought about it. We're like, well, we'll just ban Deimos. Like, all right, cool.
Cool. So off one game, 1 round, that was all you needed to be like, nah, I'm not dealing with this right now, dude. No way.
He's got tech.
They were using that club too, so
Got it.
we're good.
Well, listen, it's been Beastcoast, Los, tick down wild card as well. Arguably the weaker half of the league right now. You've got tougher competition next. You guys going undefeated all the way? I mean, is this going to continue?
I mean, let's not act like they didn't call Beastcoast a super team, but I'll let that slide.
Did anybody
And
call Beastcoast a super team? Did somebody say that?
Caliber Jacob's a super team fanatic.
Oh, I didn't
Love
say.
super team.
Dude, not about Beastcoast. You kidding me? I said that about M80 because I was like, oh man, if we call them that, does that just like curse their chances into the ground? I was curious about them.
So you're biased.
Basically,
It's not working.
Yeah, of course. Because
It's not working.
but I mean, is your team a super team? It looks like it's going really well through 3 games, but like Jonah mentioned, you do have tougher competition down the road. So is this a realistic expectation for the rest of the season?
I mean, yeah, 3-0 was pretty expected. Like, I mean, we thought Beastcoast would put up a fight, but I mean, you saw that one, so.
Here, Fox has one more question for you.
Yeah, putting up a fight. I got to just ask the question: when Diffuser good nighted you, like, how'd you feel? And that you're up 2v5 and he hit you with a good night.
Listen. You know what? People rush every round. They have no confidence in what they're doing. So we already knew they were severely lacking confidence that whole game. So I just like, when he typed good night, I was just like, come on, dude, let's be serious.
Well, it was pretty ironic that he typed good night and then he was the next one to get traded in that round.
Yep, I said, Mitch is right here. Get him.
I was gonna say, I saw that, dude. Man, thanks for the interview. Congratulations on starting undefeated, but we will see you again later on. Have a good night, dude.
Bye, guys.
Everything for Oxygen is exactly according to plan for now. There's nothing to suggest it's going to stay exactly the
Tough
same.
climb ahead.
Mostly because I think if they were to go undefeated, I think you'd be kind of pissed that the one stage that you decide, oh, you know what, I'm going to leave the team, I'm done, my career is over. They suddenly go undefeated without you. Would you find that to be like, oh man, why did I stop? Like,
I mean, I don't think so. When it came to statistics, I didn't think it was that the issue. I think we just had different styles of where we wanted to play. And it's perfectly fair. It's clearly working. And obviously, Gomez and Diaz have been playing phenomenal the whole season. I love the guys on the team. And obviously, my greatest achievement with them is we got third at invite. So maybe if they get there, then I'd be upset. Like if they get top 2,
if they make grand
win,
final,
you know, if they get top 2, then maybe I'll be like a little upset. But for now, I mean, you know, I love the guys and I always have a good time talking about it.
Let's be real, though. We're a long way off from entertaining the undefeated conversation. I do think
true.
they've had the easy schedule so far. Not to absolutely belittle the teams they've already faced, but they do have M80. They've got Sonics. They've got DZ.
Yep.
They've got SSG. those are tougher teams.
I will say we should give credit where credit's due. They definitely have looked like a phenomenal team with the big restructure that they've done. We look at teams that have made complete team restructures and we go, wow, these teams, obviously they need more time, but OXG made a full team restructure, in my opinion, with the way that they play the game, and they picked up 2 new players. That is a huge task to get past, especially when you get rid of your long-lasting IGL. That is a huge thing to overcome, and so far they've already made themselves a clear step above the bottom side of the bracket. Now they have the top side to deal with, but I still think there's so much flair and so much flavor that they've showed us so far. We just got a taste, you know? So I'm excited to see much more.
We've been running this one a little long, so that is all for the games that we've got for today. We're not entirely done, though, because we'll run through the last standings. We'll talk about the games that we have going up tomorrow. And if you are a subscriber on the Twitch channel, be sure to leave a couple questions in chat, because the first iteration of the North American League post show comes up in a very chill format right after the break. So make sure you leave your questions. Well, today was the first day where we had 5 best of ones as properly scheduled on a North American League play day. And what that means is, because today is a normal day, we decided to just kick back, let loose, and just kind of talk about how everything today went. There really isn't a schedule for this. Hi, welcome to the NAL Post Show. I'm Jacob, he's Jonah, he's Davide, and we don't really have a plan for any of this.
We're just chilling.
We're just, yeah, I mean, I think after a good long day on broadcast, getting the chance to just decompress for a hot second is always a good idea. But we were literally told, like behind the scenes, like just turn analyst and host mode off for a bit and just do whatever, like within reason, do whatever.
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, I
like
don't
talking
know.
like you're on stream. You know?
Like I didn't know if that meant
Yeah.
you know,
Relaxing.
take all your clothes off, or if that meant stay clothed.
Start showering.
Yeah.
They probably don't want us to do anything crazy, but
I
who knows?
mean,
yeah.
Who knows? You know,
What do you got in store for us?
nowadays, you know, with the meta, I mean,
The meta of what? Oh, wait, what, the Twitch meta?
yeah, the meta. You know what I'm saying?
very. You get away with it on
We need
Twitch.
to get an inflatable hot tub. We need to put it in the middle, and then like whoever loses a prediction needs to like get in the pool.
That would actually be kind of crazy. I can't lie. I've been working out. I would love to do it. I can't lie.
Yeah?
There you go.
You have anything to show for it yet, or are you just like? I mean, well, you've been in the gym for the past couple months, right?
Yeah, like 3
Yeah.
months. It's getting there. The SSG guys were like, damn, man, your shoulders are getting bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, good
It was
stuff.
pretty good. I'm not going to like show nobody now.
I'm gonna
but-
say,
I mean,
like you
no,
next
this
to
is
Lax
the
will be
week to
different.
do it, because laxing is not here, so
No,
you would
yeah.
be the fittest.
I mean,
one.
I look tiny compared to that guy. Like,
I mean, but no, that's the thing. You're the resident gym bro now. Now that Laxing is gone, right?
Oh, I mean, I fill a seat. I have to be.
That's true.
I mean,
he's all right.
well, but meet me after the show.
He's all right.
Maybe after the show. All right. Well, here's the schedule, just as a reminder of everything that happened over the course of today. It was the first time we had a couple teams play more than one game. OXG won both. Luminosity won the first game of the day. M80 and SSG both won games in overtime. Ultimately, what was my favorite game? I think mine was probably honestly, that M80 Sonics game was a lot of fun. If I had to pick one on the day, it'd probably be that one. What would you guys take?
Hot take. I'm picking LG Beastcoast. I think that was
You like that
probably that was entertaining to watch just because LG brought a whole new element that I wasn't expecting, especially their attacks. Very fast, very aggressive.
Yeah, sure.
Just whole game plan all the way through, and I just don't think Beastcoast necessarily had much to show for it. The rest of the games were still great, but that one was entertaining for me.
Yeah, it was decent stuff across the board. I love some of the hero plays we saw in that DZ SSG game. It was exciting, those few moments. Left a little bit to be desired, though. You know,
Yeah.
we hyped up this matchup of these two big guys, you know, with so much storied history, as you pointed out. And it's like, give us something. And we saw Cafe kind of being Cafe, Siege being Siege, and that very, like,
Yeah.
So slow.
slow
So
pace.
slow.
You really didn't like how slow
This
that
guy was
game
falling asleep.
Like-
This
Nah, I mean, like, obviously, when you look at the technical part of that game, obviously it was a lot of back and forth. It was a lot of round after round. And fundamentally, it would be a great game to break down exactly what round specifically went wrong. But when it comes to entertainment side of things, it was a really slow burn game. It's a lot to take in. That was classic old
Classic
time
for the Siege nerds,
Yeah,
right? If you like
classic
to just
old-time
dive
Siege.
into a round
Classic
and go,
for the people who don't
Exactly.
like when Siege turns into TDM all the time.
right.
So I'm sure Macy
Macy
looked at that
J?
and be like, yeah, that was
That
my
game's
game
for you.
Yeah.
That game's for you. Hot take. I think a lot of Macy J's takes are actually pretty right, pretty correct in my opinion.
A lot of them are, yeah, he just attracts a lot of ire. That's kind of the problem. Here's standings after everyone has played, with the exception of Los, everyone has played at least 2 games now at this point. Los didn't play any today, so they will play 2 tomorrow, and then they will be either further up the standings or maybe they lose their next ones. They still don't have any points. I'm still surprised that DZ only has 1. I mean, yeah, it's only
That'll
been 2
change.
games. They
That'll
went to overtime once, but it's like, really? You're starting your season there?
No, OXG's winning without me? Guys,
Are you crying yet?
say it's a joke, please.
I
Nah.
mean, DZ.
DZ is a surprising one to see them that low, but they've played 2 hard games, so it's kind of, you know, like you guys were saying, OXG maybe have had the easier half of teams. DZ has had the harder half of teams, and you never really know with these seasons. OXG, as far as I've been on the last 2 seasons, we actually started out very hot, and then it's always the last couple of games where they kind of just string out along. So hopefully they can change the tides this time, a little more consistent.
Only uphill from here. I think we all
hope
know.
so.
We all know what they can do.
I don't know, man. We've kind of said everything there is to say about teams, at least for right now.
I mean,
I'm over
DZ,
here like
come on, man.
I've said
Give it to us.
all
I
of the
need more.
buzzwords about every team today already. Like I'm just
You're just done. You're gonna sip your.
I'll sip the undisclosed contents of
You're
my.
just-
It's
the
fine.
undisclosed
You're not
Fanta,
a real
the
Siege.
Fanta in the
Dog
mug.
exposed. I drink soda. That's crazy.
You're not a real Siege grinder. I could talk about Siege teams for days.
You could.
True,
I could.
but you could also fall asleep trying to do it. Here's tomorrow's schedule. I'm being told. Throw the schedule up there. And the schedule is ready. So this is what tomorrow brings us. Los's 2 games are okay. Wow. So they have games 3 and 5.
Wow.
Which is not so. Beastcoast had games 1 and 5, but Los doesn't have nearly as much turnaround between both games. Is that
What a
bad?
day! What a day for them. They have
Los
GT
Los-
and Sonics.
Los has some hard games.
That's
I can't
so
lie.
unfair.
You know what, Matt?
They
Wait,
have the
they
day
might
off just
start
to
out
go.
0 and 3.
And they do it in like within an hour and a half.
Oh, no, I'm
Whoa,
no, just straight
Caliber
schedule.
Jacob Hayden live on stream.
I ain't said nothing.
We're the desk. We need to be unbiased.
Dude,
Let's
this
get
is
it,
I
Los.
was literally told turn off host mode, dude. I'm chilling.
Vamos Los.
Yeah, turn
I'm
on
with you.
bias mode.
I'm with y'all.
So, okay. M80 LG. I don't know. I think because of that earlier game from LG, I actually am kind of more intrigued by that, even if I don't know if M80 are going to let off the gas. So that's a good opening game. But yeah, game 2, I think, is the one everyone's looking forward to the most.
I mean,
Yeah.
we got 2 different M80s. I think we got a hotter, fiery M80 today than we did last week. I think if the one today comes in tomorrow, that could be open and shut.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see how DZ pans out because I'd say this is probably where they should feel a lot more comfortable going up against Los.
Yeah.
And if they don't, that'll look really rough.
If
That'll
they
be really
don't,
rough to
if
beat
they
0-3.
struggle tomorrow, we need to settle down
Yeah.
and have a conversation about that.
You need to get the coaches in the studio and be like, yo, what are y'all doing? I'm so confused right now.
Barry's face in mug to hide his shame.
All right, so we are in Twitch sub mode. So if there are any questions that, I mean, people have already been leaving them, so I'm curious what we did. So first question, Foxy, what did you do in your downtime after SI was done?
That's a great question.
Yeah, like 3 weeks, or a little less than 3 weeks of downtime for you, right?
I'm trying to think about it. I don't think I really did much.
No,
I
no
went
big
home.
vacations.
After SI,
What does a retired gamer do?
I think I went home.
You just game?
And I want to say I streamed a lot, but to be fair, I don't think I did. I feel like the time really blew by very quickly. I only had like 2 weeks.
It wasn't that long.
Yeah, it wasn't that long. I mean, people don't understand how difficult it is, the flights and traveling very often. Obviously, like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and be like, it's a nightmare.
All right.
But it's definitely a lot to deal with, especially when you're playing, you're in these events and it's very high stress situations and then you fly back home. I mean, I didn't play, but it was still a lot to handle. And when I got back home, I kind of just relaxed, took care of things that I had to do around the house, like real life stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, you try to do your own type of thing when you can, stream, you know, stuff like that.
You have a cat, right?
I do have a cat.
Did
so
you have to drop cat off someplace else, or did someone like come like apartment sit for you?
I fortunately I have a friend in my building, so he was just able to go into my apartment, just
do
make sure
checks,
make sure she's good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
What's her name?
Zoe, yeah.
Zoe, nice.
2 years
Color?
old. 2 years old. She's like a brownish gray tabby.
Nice, yeah.
Tabby, yeah.
Super good apartment cat.
Yeah. She's perfect. She kind of just sits around, just relaxes all day. Really calm cat.
Thoughts on NA and international staying?
And it's
Oh, so like us being like third region.
No, you mean the best
to everybody else.
If
Oh,
you-
so sorry, you mean best region? Yeah, my bad.
You can't. We're on the
Jo-
NA stream. You need to
No, Jonah's on brand. That's fair. I
gotta
get it.
stay on brand here, Jacob.
if you guys want a real answer,
Yeah.
I'm not a player anymore, so I could really get into it. Like
Yeah,
a
you
lot.
can. Yeah, go nuts.
I mean, I think the big reason why North America struggles when it comes to international play is because a lot of teams are so used to playing against just the NA teams, scrimming them every day. So
Yeah.
a lot of it is just counter strats. I'm sorry to be that bearer of bad news, but a lot of these teams that you idolize at home, a lot of it is just regurgitated counter strats that they're like, oh, I know what they're going to do from scrim, so I'm going to play it. And when it comes to an actual international event and they play against teams that have different play styles or different ways, different play styles, and they don't have the footage, it's harder to adapt. So it's like teams
Sure.
in NA will qualify for majors, not adapting and not learning how to be better, just learning how to counter, be better on paper in a way. And so that's why we see such disappointing results when it comes to NA, and the teams that always do better are the teams that actually do adapt. That's why you see teams like Sonics. You know, a lot of people would refer to them as maybe the third or fourth place team in NA, but at the last invite,
They were top 2.
they got top 6.
Yeah, they were great.
No matter what, like jumping across regions it's proven to be difficult. I mean, you get a team like Los coming over that's not off
No,
the
not
hottest
quite the
start.
same. I mean, yeah, it's because they're brand new. It's also like a whole other wrinkle.
Right, but like
right?
in LATAM, which I'm casting right now, and we saw that this week in the first kind of week of matches, we have kind of a couple of like teams that are, the odd teams out. We have a bunch of teams from Brazil now exclusively coming in.
Yeah.
We also have Revan,
And Revan is
which
still a
kind
thing.
of like the famous team for being the intruders in the region.
they're like the most notorious like team in any region for fans of that region.
Exactly.
Like,
There you have 2 Brits, an American. I'm trying to think.
a Spaniard,
A Spaniard and
a Frenchie.
ooh, I've got it written down. I'm gonna.
Right. I think he's French. I'm pretty sure.
I'll trust you on that. I've got it a couple pages back in my notes. But the
Yeah.
point is, you've got like this weird, like, just weird combination of a bunch of different regions. Everyone's used to a different kind of play style.
Yeah.
They had a good first game in LATAM and not so good second game, but like, that's hard. Combining everyone who's kind of used to different play styles, you get someone like Noodle into the mix who's jumping all over
Oh,
the place
yeah.
regions-wise. Like, that is not easy to do.
Well, that's why teams in Brazil are so strong right now for the last year, is just because they've been able to adapt a style of Siege where it's very aggressive. Everybody's moving together at the exact same time in the same focus, and it's very fast.
and it's
So
good against everyone. It's not
Exactly,
like-
because
yeah.
as soon as you see something that stands out, everyone goes, all right, this is what we're doing. This is what we're hitting. And
Yeah.
It's very proactive. And that's what adapting is. And I don't think that's made it to every other region just yet.
Speaking of internationals, what's the international matchup in 2024 you're excited for? I mean, if I had to pick, the things I'm seeing from new BDS, the crossover of France and the UK right now seems really exciting. Not to say that I want to see them play Furia, just because, I mean, any game that includes the current world champs is just kind of going to have that flair. But if that were to come up in like an elimination context at like
Yeah.
the next major, like if that was like a lower bracket, loser goes home, winner goes to grand final type of stake. So it's not win and you win the whole tournament stake, but lose and you're gone type thing. That would be really intriguing to me, I think.
You were right, by the way. Draw is French. So the last
Draw is French. Yeah, there we go. Sweet.
I think that's a great matchup. I think BDS is obviously a team to keep an eye on since the recent changes. Furia. A team I'm excited to actually watch is PSG Talon, since they've gotten Fabian.
They're undefeated right now.
Yeah,
They're 3-0.
7-0'd, 7-1, 7-1, I believe, was since getting Fabian as a coach.
That's crazy, dude.
It's
Yeah.
a scary guy to have behind your team going like.
Is that all it took?
strings.
Was it just getting...
That's all it-
Guys, come on. It's easy. All it took for you to win in Korea was just getting a world championship winning player as your coach, and then you start... It's easy, guys. So someone go find Goga and have him coach in there. Is that just how easy it is?
It might be. It might be that simple. I mean, clearly it's working for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so far. Favorite match of all time? Ooh.
Jeez, we're just getting the hard-hitting questions
I
coming.
mean, hey, first time we're doing this, so I guess it makes sense.
That's an easy one for me.
What is it?
I would definitely have to say Reciprocity versus Evil Geniuses.
SI 2019?
SI 2019.
Because you beat him.
For top 4, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because we beat them. Yeah, that was like the pivotal moment where like EG was being like dethroned as like the NA team that just always does the best in NA by my team, which was like we were like really fighting to become like a top 2 team.
Yeah.
And that was a changing moment. Didn't matter. We played G2 and we got the brakes beat off us, but it was a great time to be able to beat EG. And then also, funny enough, I'm pretty sure a player on my team at the time only got 6 kills in
Ooh.
3 maps, and we still beat them. So that's pretty crazy.
Not to name names. We go. I mean, it's old history, so it doesn't matter. But it's like,
It was Mark. It was Mark the Shrek.
Were there-
you said it, not
Were
me.
there
Yeah,
any
it's okay.
Penta Continuum or Penta EG clashes back, like way back in the pre-G2
Oh boy.
days?
I
I'm trying
think
to, that was when I was like Canadian, Pengu, NVK,
Yeah.
Kanto, Goga, give it to me.
No. There should have been at least.
EG Penta SI 2018, the one I analysted for, their finals where EG was up, I think, 2 maps to 1, and they were the White Stairs, Canadian White Stairs.
Yeah, Canadian White Stairs.
Canadian White Stairs.
Canadian White Stairs was Milan Finals Empire versus EG.
Yeah, that was Empire.
Yeah,
That was Empire, wasn't?
that was Empire.
Oops. Well, SI 2018 was definitely where EG was up, I think, 2 maps to 1, and then Penta ended up doing like a reverse sweep and then winning 3 maps to 2.
Yeah,
I
okay.
believe.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What player do you think is in his prime? Who is really, really good right now.
Is Fox saying his prime right now? Is this your prime?
I think so. You know, they usually say athletes hit their prime when they get to closer to the 30s. So I'm only 24.
You're almost
Dude,
there.
you're younger than me by like a few months. Like, don't make me feel old by
Well, I'm
talking
just
about how
saying,
close
you
to
get
30
to-
you
You're
are.
not
I'm
Like,
not. I wasn't saying for myself. I'm saying some athletes, you know, feel like they're in their prime once they hit their early 30s, and I'm just saying I haven't hit there yet.
Well, I guess, like, I don't know, is early 30s, I know this doesn't answer the question, but you know how esports time and real time aren't like the same sort of delineation, right?
Like athlete time is already really tight, but then esports
Esports, like,
within
way
that
more,
is
yeah.
even stronger.
Because you got guys in esports retiring at 25.
That's crazy.
In
Yeah.
some cases. I mean, you did it before then, right?
Yep.
Wait,
So
like,
are
I'm
you hinting at
24.
you coming back when you're 30?
Or are you saying that you hit your maturity timeline in esports like a year ago and that was like your peak?
No, I was just trying to be funny and say that I haven't hit my prime yet. You know, the human brain doesn't develop until you're 25 fully.
True.
So that being said, who's in their prime?
Who's in their
I'm gonna go with honestly Gomez from Oxygen. I know it
Ooh,
sounds
he's
pretty
good.
biased, but I feel like he's definitely hitting full strides.
A cold take. That's fully true.
Most improved player of the last year. So I think he's in his prime right now.
Favorite jersey of 2024?
I haven't seen all of them yet.
Would it just
Well,
be,
I
would it just
mean-
be funny if I just said the OXG jersey?
I mean,
I mean,
you
hang
say
on.
that?
What do we got? We got we don't have an M80 jersey, but we have an M80 shirt. But like the new wild card one is cool. The Space Station one is like classic for the most part.
Yeah,
like that kind of design hasn't really changed very much.
yeah, I feel like that's even
got the
more
DZ
subdued than usual.
Oh yeah, the DZ one has like pleated sleeves. Like it's got like ridges on it or
Give it a-
something. Like
Give it a rest.
give what a rest.
Give it a rest.
You don't like the sleeves, or you do like the
You
sleeves?
know what? You don't like fashion?
I want to see more out of Dark Zero. I feel like they have such a cool logo, such a cool colorway, but it always seems a little too similar for what they could do. Like they got that galaxy thing going on.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I mean, they rocked that like. Remember the jerseys they won Charlotte in was like what
Nope.
like the starry pattern or something on the front of it. You remember that? Like,
I got nothing for you. I think stars. I think space station.
I mean, I think stars. I think Astralis, but that's a totally different reason.
True.
I will
Like-
say wild card definitely huge improvement on the jerseys.
Yeah, no, they stepped
I
their
think,
game
I
up.
think their newest one is pretty
I mean,
pretty fire.
look, you want to talk about overall jersey improvements? Remember what the old OXG ones looked like way back when?
I can't talk about that on the stream.
You've signed an NDA.
Can't talk about that one.
Oh,
Love the
man.
OXG jerseys. Look nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good answer.
Favorite player personality?
Ah,
It's hard not to like instantly think Ashen, but to be fair, that makes the most sense because we speak English. If there was
Right, English speaking favorite player. Let's
Yeah,
go
well,
with
yeah,
that.
yeah, but like, I still can't get over how beloved that old Norengo team was, and how everybody was all that level of exuberant all the time. Even if they lost, they're just like, yeah, you know what, no big deal, and then they would like do the hand motion thing. That,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that brings back a very before time memory, I think, for me. I loved how that Norengo team just oozed charisma all the time.
Give me Ambi top of that list as well. I mean, come on. the
You're gonna,
guy-
dude. You're gonna put. Wait, are you putting Ambi like next to Norengo?
Oh no! I'm just saying. In this conversation of top
Yeah,
personalities
okay.
right now, Ambi's electric. I mean, the interview. Every time he pops up on the screen, he's got something hilarious to say.
I would go with Doki. Like I feel like Doki just has a really
Doki's always been
infectious
good.
personality.
Yeah.
But if I'm just sticking to NA, I mean, there's so many good ones. Ashen's really good. Ambi's really good.
Newers.
Wow, that's a
Sounds
hard
good.
question. Newers is really good. I was trying to stay away from OXG because I've just been
You've lived with that.
Talk about
I've been a
anything
little
else,
bit of
man.
bias. So
Yeah.
I was really trying to think. I mean, I know the players more personally. I really feel like players like Fultz, NJR, Dream have really good personalities. And I would love it if they get more opportunities to showcase that personality. Because I know them behind closed doors. I know they're very great guys.
Yeah.
So I would probably say one of those guys.
There's also a bunch of players who, if you ever get the chance to talk to them in person, very different from what their personas are on stream or on Twitter, but usually, for the most part, pretty good people if you
Oh,
get a chance to bump.
Kino. I
Who?
love Kino.
Who?
Kino?
This guy.
Oh, I'm kidding.
You know you're a host for the NAL, right?
Who's that? No, I was told to turn off.
Doesn't know who he
Never
is.
mind. Who deserves next elite skin? Well, I mean, whoever doesn't currently have one. I mean, because the Nook one is coming out. It's like at this point, every elite skin is the second elite skin for most people. So it's like, who do we have left? Like,
Tubarão.
Ooh, I love grid and don't have a good gridlock skin. I would love a gridlock elite. Yubi, if you're watching, 100% a grid skin. You will make me very happy.
Give him one.
That's pretty good.
Please.
That's a pretty good one.
Is there?
I think Gridlock's a really good one.
It's like Moz has already got one. But literally, at some point, it will get to a stage where we just don't have any elites left to give to operators. And it's like, oh, hey, the new op came out. Also, the elite skin is available same day as soon as it comes out. Like,
Some of the elite skins that, I mean, I don't think there's any non-elite skin that I'm like, give me that. But like, there are some that like, oh, you can tweak it up, maybe spruce it up a little bit, you know, maybe like base it around like a certain piece of like a certain headgear they already have that you already love, you know. Like,
yeah, that'd be cool.
Like Pulse, when he has like the complete bandana across his eyes, that's sick. You could
Yeah.
That one is pretty
really
cool.
kind of form the skin around that model, that idea. I don't know, Castle with his football helmet, make him a football player.
I also want, like, I mean, because we've gotten like Resident Evil and Street Fighter and Halo.
but we need a Dune.
Rick and Morty.
And
Rick and
worm
Morty,
skin.
yeah.
Give me a Dune skin. Or just a worm.
Ooh. For who?
Just a worm.
No. Make the drone a worm.
Okay,
I mean, they already-
That'd be dope.
They already-
make the boogie drone a worm.
Yeah.
They already made Thermite into the bug from Rick and Morty, which, by the way, like players love running that skin in scrims. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Do they? Well, no. Is that real? Like people
Yeah.
actually really love playing that?
Yeah. The Dream runs it all the time. That guy permanently runs the bug skin.
The one I will say before we get out of here, if we ever do some sort of Star Wars crossover, Deimos would make a pretty excellent Mandalorian. I'm just saying.
I agree.
The whole mask
If
going
that
on
ever
already.
came up.
And on that note, make sure you guys check out the elites. Buy all the elites from the Ubisoft
Yes!
store itself.
Do it.
Please do.
You know, buy them all. Buy the Pro League skins too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which-
do all that.
No, but no, seriously, it supports all the teams out there. Like, that is a huge part of why they invest in this esport.
The pro teams, to be clear, not the elites,
pro teams,
but yeah.
not
pro
the elite
teams.
skins, but the pro teams. You buy the pro team skins, keeps this esport alive.
Yeah.
Just
So
spend money on us. Let's do
Give us money, please. We'll
Let's
give
do
you
it.
some.
my DMs
Team
are
money.
open. Please. Sounds fantastic. Anyway, that
Your
was...
Venmo is. I'm just kidding.
Unfortunately, can't quite go to that length. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for day 3 of the NAL. We will come back with post shows after every day of broadcast. So that does it all for us here in Philadelphia. We will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, exact same structure. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you for day 4 tomorrow.